Now to another pressing issue. United States talks with Iran and the extensive U.S. military buildup throughout the Middle East. President Trump told reporters earlier today he is, quote, considering, that's a quote, a limited strike inside Iran. Elliot Ackerman joins me now. He's been on the program before. I'm glad always to see him. Decorated veteran, former CIA officer, and current CBS News contributor. Elliot, sum up where you think we are with this.
I think right now we are in a period of brinksmanship between the Iranians and American negotiators as to whether or not they can get to a deal. So it's really a question of sort of who's going to blink first.
I've been asked this question a lot this week, Elliot. I like your perspective on it because you have been in the situation where you are downstream from a buildup and executed orders. Is there an inevitability to a deployment of this size and scope? Meaning, once you put all those assets in a region, there's a kind of built-in momentum behind their use?
I think that's certainly a legitimate concern, is that by merely having the amount of forces we have in the region, it makes it a fait accompli that military force is going to get used. But that doesn't mean that just because we see this buildup that we are going to see hostilities between Iran and the United States. I think you have to have a credible use of force in order to use and project military power.
From your perspective, how do you think the administration prioritizes things? My reporting a lot of our colleagues here is that it's nuclear, it's ballistic missiles, support for proxies, and probably in that order.
Yeah, I think that tracks with what I'm hearing as well. And I think one of the challenges in these negotiations is that the Iranians want to keep the concessions very limited in the nuclear area. And I think as Americans, we want to see the scope of those negotiations broadened to both ballistic missiles and the use of proxies in the region.
How do you interpret the reluctance of some of our allies to provide basing assistance for anything that might be required to conduct a large-scale and prolonged attack, and some of the very public comments from our partners in the region, like they're not necessarily comfortable with a full-scale attack on Iran because of all the things it could destabilize?
Yeah, I think we were really getting into the realm of three-dimensional chess when it comes to Iran. I mean, obviously, we had the protests last month that were very destabilizing. Moments it seemed as though the regime would topple. And for some of our partners, for instance, like the Saudis, the idea of massive regime change and uncertainty in Iran isn't necessarily good for the Saudis. So I think we're seeing a lot of hesitance with some of our Arab partners in participating in this round of strikes because they don't necessarily know where they're going to go. And I don't think we know either. So it's a period of uncertainty in the region, unlike any I've seen, at least in decades.
There are times when President Trump will drop a fact into a set of remarks that people had not heard before, and he did that today. In his press briefing talking about the Supreme Court tariff decision, he was asked about Iran. He said 32,000 Iranians died as a result of suppression of protests in the streets. That's a highly specific number, Elliot. It struck me and a lot of people as new news. How did you evaluate that?
Well, I think it gives context to the negotiations that are going on right now. I mean, if we look back in the last, year, 2 years, 3 years, I mean, the Iranian regime is as weak as we've seen it in decades. And regardless of what the Iranian regime is saying with regards to their capabilities of counterstriking against the U.S., at home, there's massive internal political forces that would make any type of long-term hostilities with the United States very, very fraught for them. And so really for the regime, the number one issue that they're facing is one of survival.
Always great stuff. Elliot Ackerman, I appreciate your time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.